What's on, where, and when. It's the Talk of Nelson. NBS Talk Nelson.
To me, banking for life means coming into the branch and always feeling welcome.
Being able to pick up the phone, knowing who you're talking to at the end of it.
The flexibility with banking options.
Having absolute faith in the people you're dealing with.
The Mako Rugby Roundup.
Welcome back to the Mako Rugby Roundup, coming to you from the Turf Hotel. Thanks to Stan and the team. And don't forget to check out what's happening at the Turf Hotel this weekend. Check out their Facebook page. And behind you, Les, there, Sunday, 26th of October, get bucked at the Turf. Got to be careful there. And, a lot of work happening out the front too. So it looks like maybe a new entranceway coming in at some point. So
get bucked on the new deck.
Yeah, that's we've way got to be careful here. Welcome back, Les. Nice to see you, mate.
Nice to be here.
And today we're joined by one of the youngest players in the Mako squad, but you don't feel that old, mate. It sounds like you've been part of the furniture for quite a while now. So you've already made your mark on the international stage with Tonga and now lighting up the NPC with Tasman. We're stoked to have us with Kyren Taumoefolau on the show. We're very welcome to have you, mate.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Could you give Chris a proper lesson?
That's right. That's right.
Nah, it's all good. It's Kyren Taumoefolau.
There you go. Much nicely pronounced, that's for sure. Hey, Kyren, you originally grew up in Blenheim and went to Marlborough Boys College. So tell us about that rugby journey. When did you start getting interest in rugby? You know, was it just part of the family culture, or was it something you came across yourself?
Firstly, thank you for having me on this show. It's cool, and I'm grateful to be on here. And yeah, growing up in Blenheim, and my old man's big on rugby. He loves footy. He was actually the coach for the Waitoa Premiers in Picton.
Ah, right.
So I've always been around rugby, growing up in the JAB, and but yeah, probably took rugby seriously probably when my year 11 year and first 15 for Marlborough Boys College.
Yeah, so I was going to ask the club. So Waitoa is the club.
And Dad Tonga.
Yeah, Dad Tonga. Yeah.
So Tonga, we've talked about in the past, you know, a storied coach over in Marlborough, including the Marlborough Boys College first 15 this year. And Mum, what's Mum's connection with sport?
Well, yeah, my mum's connections, she's like a netballer. She loved it, indoor netball. She loved playing cricket. She was born and raised in Southland, so she was she loved her sports. But my dad was the big rugby man in the family. So yeah.
So we spoke to Cooper Roberts last week, and he talked about that first 15 experience, mentioned your name. So there's a few boys that actually, went on to other honours, you could say, and also with the Tasman Mako team. So can you tell us about that team and also some of the guys that you got to play with there?
Yeah, sweet. Marlborough Boys is a real special place to me. It's which gave me my opportunity to showcase rugby talents and stuff like that. I was lucky enough to play alongside guys like Monu Moli, who's in the Tasman Mako setup, Cooper Roberts, and then you have guys there who you idolised, like Atu Moli, who made the All Blacks. He was playing for the Chiefs. That's just to name a couple. But yeah, love my time at Marlborough Boys College. It wasn't a big rugby school. It was kind of a how do you say, it was a smaller school compared to the Christchurch Boys and Christ College, teams like that, but definitely held our own and got a couple upsets on the way, which was cool.
Yeah, and it's got a proud history.
Absolutely, and some of those upsets against Nelson College. It's always good value, eh?
Yeah, it's always good, especially when you're teammates now, so it's always
Yeah, that's right. And we talked to Cooper last week about, where the team was about then, and Marlborough have had some heights in the past, and then there was a bit of a rebuilding phase, but you must have been pretty wrapped with how they went this year.
Yeah, they done awesome. Like talking to me, old man, every time I get a chance. I was away with Super, but every time I get the chance to have a chat around the games with him, and he said how proud of his boys he was, and talking to the players as well. And it's cool to see that such a small school is doing well against these big schools, and competing is the most important, and pretty tough to lose. the way they did, but I know that they're going to have a good year next year.
I just want to talk about your dad, Tonga. Was he a forward in the day?
Yeah, I think originally growing up when he was younger, I think he was a midfielder, and then he met my mum and then turned into a number 8.
Because he's a bigger man
Yeah.
than you, and your younger brother Bray's now coming through
Yeah.
the ranks.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And yeah, he's always hard on us, my old man, and since we were younger. So it's always been good to have someone to go to talk about rugby. Even though you do your reviews with your team, you still got your review with the old man. So it's always good.
So when you say tough, he doesn't pull punches or gild the lily, as they say?
Yeah, he doesn't really care about tries and stuff like that. He cares about the work and the work off the ball and defensive reads, stuff like that.
Because I was going to, it's quite obvious who one of your main mentors were, but I was going to talk about, growing up there, who maybe a couple of those mentors were. So obviously your father, a big one. Was there anyone else that you came across that had a bit of an influence on you?
Yeah, I'd say there was a guy who was my head high school coach. His name was Matt McDougall. He was real good for me. I grew up when you're in Blenheim, in a small town, you guys play touch together. Everyone's real connected. So we went through like playing social grade touch and stuff like that. And he's seen me grow up through the grades, and he was my footy coach as well. He's an awesome coach. He taught me the basics really well, like really dialed it into me. And then I reckon if it wasn't for him, like the skill set stuff that I learned back then helps with where I play now and teams I'm in, just gives me that basic look into professional look.
Yeah, Cooper also mentioned Matt. Is Matt still around? Is he in the police force in Marlborough, and is he still involved in coaching?
Yeah, I'm not too sure where he is at the moment. I know that he's still doing the police stuff with the dogs and that. I've been meaning to catch up with him, but not sure where he's living at the moment. But yeah, definitely due for a catch up with that guy.
Yeah, because Matt also did Crusaders under 20s and whatnot. So yeah, talented coach.
Yeah, really talented. Yeah.
So then higher honours come a knocking, and I don't know if I got the order right, so you'll have to bear with me here and correct me, but 2022 Tonga Sevens, is that was that kind of the first jump up for you?
Yeah, that was my first jump. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us how that connection came about.
Sweet. So in high school, didn't really make any teams. Like didn't make the Crusader under 20s, Crusader under 18. Sorry, didn't make NZ schools, NZ barbars, and it like kind of put me in a position where I really wanted to. Like I had something to prove, like a chip on my shoulder. So as soon as school finished, I kind of worked real hard in the off season. And then while I was working in the off season, I played out of school, I played like a World School Sevens for Tonga. And then it's like, that is like around New Zealand and Australia, it's all like all the countries. So like there'll be like a Tonga Sevens squad for schools, like a New Zealand Sevens schools. And I was playing for Tonga at the time, and I was just playing, having fun with my mates. And then after that, got a call from the Tonga Sevens coach, and he just reached out, said, "We would love for you to come into camp with us." And I was pretty excited and went into camp, and yeah, I loved it ever since.
So how old were you then?
Good question.
I think I was 18 when I first went in.
Right.
Yeah, and then I was just training, and then I think I debuted when I was 19. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So no fear, right? Jump in, play international footy, and get stuck in.
Yeah, it was definitely a big jump.
Yeah.
Looking back, I was like, I don't know how I was ready for it, but I think I just had a big drive after high school and was really keen to get stuck in.
And during high school, was it mainly on the wing, or did you play? Because you've played a bit of fullback as well. Is that right?
Yeah. So when I was playing in 15s. I was playing like wing, fullback, mainly fullback was my position. So I'd play like if I was ever playing a club game, coming back from sevens, I would always go and play 15 for Waitohi and then Motri if they were still around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
which do you prefer?
Waitohi.
Okay. And which position?
15.
Oh, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your favourite spot.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, I love the right wing.
Yeah.
Loving it. At the moment, actually can't separate the two right now, but at the moment, the next few years, I want to cement my spot at right wing, and then I could see myself moving potentially into fullback after learning my role properly at the wing here.
Cool.
So you got a boot then, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, I love to kick the ball, man.
Is that right? And is it for the touch, or you goal kick as well, or
yeah, got a goal kick a little bit. I think I'm back up goal kicker this week. So
is that right?
Yeah, I haven't goal kicked actually in a couple of years, so I'm actually looking forward to it.
Jeez.
Should be good. Yeah.
There you go. Haven't seen that from you yet.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. All right. So then from there, was it Moana Pasifika knocked on your door?
I had Tonga International 15 squad. They reached out after the Sevens, seeing me play Sevens. And then I went to the World Cup after that.
So that was before Moana Pasifika.
Before Moana, yeah.
Jeez, how's that? So you jumped straight into international rugby.
Yeah, it was a massive jump. I think my very first international game when I was 19 was against Fiji. Yeah. Which was, straight in the deep end, eh?
Big boys on the wing too, I'd imagine.
Massive, man.
Yeah.
Good freak athletes.
Yeah, and you had to make some tackles, no doubt.
Yeah, man.
And I guess that's a question I do have. Especially if you're playing island rugby, you've got some big boys that are charging down on you. So what do coaches tell you about, because if they're going to go front onto you, I mean, it's pretty much very difficult to not get knocked across the sideline or what have you. So what do they talk to you about a size difference when you've got a big, powerful man running at you? What's your mindset, and then how do you get them on the deck?
Yeah, 100. I think nowadays you see there's so many power wingers nowadays.
Yeah.
So you're always up against, especially in Super Rugby, you either have like a speedster, an aerial wizard, or you've got someone who's a power winger. I think nothing changes. Like if there's a smaller guy or a bigger guy, you just know the bigger guy is probably going to try and come front on more, obviously, and then you just know you just got to get their legs. You can't run without their legs. So nothing changes for me. It's just get them on the ground as soon as possible and don't let them get a massive run up. Put pressure on them early.
Yeah.
Technique's key, man.
So if you're on the right wing,
you're
opposing normally a power winger on the left for them, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think even this week there's a power winger and nothing changes. Get up, chop him, technique, and put pressure on. Nothing changes.
At least it ain't Leroy Carter.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, the tall timbers drop harder, don't they? So tell us about that World Cup experience, because I do remember that, and I remember the commentators saying, geez, this guy's just come out of high school rugby, and now he's playing at a World Cup. So what was that experience like?
Oh, it was something I won't forget. It was I was truly grateful to be in that team. I knew that there was some other people in that position that were gunning for that spot, and I was just lucky enough that Taumoefolau was the coach at the time, seen what I had, and he just backed me with full ability. He didn't tell me that if I was going to get a game, he just said, I want you to get as much time into the Rugby World Cup to learn, get around it, so it's not going to be your first time. Which was
what a coach, what a player to have coach you in that team.
I know.
He's the giant of the game, isn't he?
He's one of the Wallaby greats, and everyone I talk to in Australia about him, rugby players, they all can't speak enough about him. Yeah, and he's the guy who speaks with his actions as well. So, it was pretty cool.
Who was your backline coach in the World Cup?
We had a guy called Tyler Blindale.
Oh, yes?
He was the Hurricanes attack coach.
Yeah.
He's over in Munster at the moment. He's over at Leinster at the moment. But he's cool, man. Like, it's awesome to have him. He was the brains of the Tonga team with all of our attack shapes, and same again, gives you the confidence. Like what I needed back then as a young guy coming through was that confidence from a coach, and it was cool to see, and really special connection with him.
So out of that, was it then next Moana Pasifika?
Yeah. So after the World Cup, I get a call from Moana saying, obviously for the contract, and it was signed off there. And
so was Tana the coach then, or was it prior to that, the Crusaders?
Oh yeah, No, it was Tana then.
It
Yeah,
was.
it was Tana. Yeah. So yeah, Tana reached out and just pretty much told me a week after the World Cup that there's a spot there for me. It was a development spot, and he just said pretty much his words to me on that phone call, which made me pretty excited, was that if I train better, then I don't care who's there. If it's Julian Salvia or anyone, if you train better, have a work ethic, and you perform, then you'll be selected in the starting lineup.
Jeez.
So I took that, and I was pretty happy. Yeah.
And so how did he find out about you? Did he go to the World Cup, or does he watch it, or did Kefu talk to him about you as a prospect?
I think he was at the World Cup with the Samoa team. So he was coaching the Samoa 15 squad. And then he watched one of the games, reached out to my head coach, and then went from there.
Because I remember you scored in the match you did play in, didn't you, in the World Cup?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get I think I got like 7 minutes, which was grateful at the World Cup. But lucky enough to get the ball early from Willie Harvilli, who's my teammate now, and it was special times.
Yeah.
Have you kept that jersey?
Yeah.
Pride of place in the house.
So it's almost gone the opposite for you, isn't it? So you jump straight into international footy, then you do Super Rugby, so a massive jump from college rugby. And then after that, then it was the Tasman Mako.
Yeah. It was, it's all backwards, eh? It's
weird.
You've had an interesting journey, that's for sure. But you started young, right?
It's
been so cool.
Because normally we talk about that jump up, what that jump up's like. But for you, it's straight into the fire, especially playing sevens. I mean, talk about gut wrenching. And then you've had to adapt your game depending on the situation. Did you find much of a difference between international and Super Rugby? Did you find that you were maybe a little bit more prepared for Super Rugby because of that?
Yeah, 100%. I think that when I was looking at it, the international, maybe it was probably lucky that I didn't play in those games against South Africa and that, just because of the biggest difference that I find with the international and Super Rugby is obviously the pace, but the physicality it's massive. And I feel like I'm ready now for it, but like back then it's just like you're a young kid, just want to go out and have fun and all that. But I think that international, getting thrown in the deep end, definitely helped transitioning to Super and even NPC. It's just way more enjoyable. You understand the game better, and
Did you play on the same Moana team as Levi Amur and Jimmy Tavatavanawa?
I went before. I think I was just after. So they went off.
Just left.
Yeah, Lee went to Crusaders and Jim to the Highlanders, and I just joined the team then.
But you had Willie as company?
Yeah, Willie was there, and he's been a good mentor with me because even with the World Cup, Tonga, Moana, Tasman, we play everywhere together, and he's always been that guy you can go to on the field, off the field. He's just a good game driver, and he can always help you out.
So then the Tasman Mako, and it would be fairly obvious why you'd want to play for your regional team, but was there a decision to be made? I mean, were there a couple of other options on the table possibly?
Yeah, there was. I remember there was a couple on the table, but deep down, and my family all knew, like, I didn't care what amount of money, I'd always come back to Tasman. Like, it was just something that, like, I've always wanted to do, and like, I couldn't see myself playing for anywhere else. I don't think the passion would be the same or the fire would be the same. So, I hold Tasman Mako pretty close to my heart, and I know my family does too. And I was brought up in Blenheim, so it'd be pretty funny to go play somewhere else.
And presumably you kind of had a pre-understanding of the culture and the team. Had Willie already joined the Mako? Was that he had already? Yeah. So he probably gave you a bit of insight on what was going down there.
Yeah, because I got a rundown from Willie, and when I was with Tonga, but I was really close with Tim O'Malley, who was a former Tasman Mako, and I remember all those boys used to always talk about it. Fetuli Paia, when I was just a young kid, all these guys would talk about it, and I was like, growing up, I've always wanted to be Tasman Mako. So, some pretty good idols that I had.
Yeah, well, Tim O'Malley was a pretty stunning guy who was a great team man.
He was,
and now a good coach was starting his coaching journey at Nelson College. So, a good lad and 50 gamer for the Mako. So,
Stoke.
He's a good man
He
to
is.
talk to.
Yeah, 100%.
How's he going to keep those boys under control? Because he's normally the one
Yeah.
flaring up.
Everyone grows up.
Um,
But he'd have an enjoyable
yes,
team environment.
yeah,
No doubt about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
100%.
That's right. You know when to do the hard work.
Yeah.
So last year, you managed to. Now, what was your debut for the Mako?
My debut was Canterbury last year. I think it was round 2.
Jeez, how's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, straight into the fire.
You've got a few games under your belt now, haven't you?
Yeah. I just got my 20th last week. So
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And
It's a big achievement, actually.
yes, mate.
And I do remember, I think maybe there was an injury and you were subbed on at one point. You had a couple of goes and then, but then I remember, was it the game against Wellington where you scored down the sideline?
Yeah.
Was that the Shield defence?
Shield defence?
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember coming off, I think the first maybe 3 games, I was coming off the bench, just finding my way in the NPC. And then I think Wellington was my big break there.
Yeah.
So there was a big game for us because it was massive for myself too, because it was a Shield defence at home, at my home, like Blenheim. So,
Yes.
which was cool and special, especially for my family. So yeah, no, it's definitely special.
Yeah, that was a big day, wasn't it? And especially when you managed to get that try down the sideline, and we'd seen you come on. You know, it's a bit like this season with a few of the younger guys, like Cooper himself. Getting some opportunities through injury, and that's pretty much what happened to you. But you showed your form.
Cheers.
And you certainly made a big impact in that game. Did you play against Otago or did they hold you back?
I played the first half. So
did you? Right.
I was allowed to play the first half, knowing that he just said that another young fellow was going to go on because we were going to get rested for the Shield match. Yeah, I was lucky enough to play half. I was happy.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting period of time, wasn't it? So you were on the park when the turnover was made up in Napier?
Yeah, I was.
You would have had a very nice night.
Yeah, probably one of the great nights I've had.
And then, of course, Otago, well, we've talked about that. That was just a cracker game and so close. And then the defence against Auckland. Well, you defended against Wellington. Magnificent effort. Defended against Auckland. And then, of course, just Taranaki a bridge too far, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think plus that Storm week was probably not the greatest for us. Especially that injuries. It's just
so 20 games, you'd have a few tries under your belt, wouldn't you? Do you know how many you've got?
Not too sure how many I got. I think maybe 8 or so.
Okay, including a hat trick this year.
Yeah. I've been lucky enough to get some early ball, especially later in the season from playmakers, which has been cool.
Well, and also you're getting more of a regular run, aren't you? So you're putting yourself in the position now of being able to play more often and get yourself in those positions.
Yeah.
And gee, some high scoring games this year too. Let's talk about the season because last year I'm starting to see 1 or 2 similarities, but we don't want to talk about the ending because, obviously we're going to kick on. But last season had a good run, but then just, I don't know, it was just through maybe a bit of injury, perhaps a little bit too much rugby all at once towards that tail end. We weren't quite able to do it. This year, a bit of a hiccup of a start, but then, some reasonable results, but then a little bit of a hole and then a win. And then, I don't know, we'll talk about the counties game. I don't know whether it would have made much of a difference anyway. Cooper said last week, it didn't really matter who we're going to play. Even if we did make top 4, it's, anybody's competition at the moment. But how do you feel the season's gone for you guys?
Yeah, the season's definitely been a roller coaster for the Tasman Mako. I'm really proud with heaps of our games. Even some games that haven't gone our way, we've shown all our values that we've wanted to do this year. And all we wanted to do was to make that top 8. Now it's all about week by week. So to be fair, you can have whatever season you have during the round robin games. The only games that matter these next 3 games. So
absolutely.
For us, it's like we've got to we've got to park that now. We've had our round robin games. There was a few games that didn't go our way, a few games we didn't turn up, a few games that we just played Mako brand of footy. And now we're parking that and it's straight for this quarterfinal. And it's a little bit of, also a little bit of revenge for us for this Bay of Plenty game, because these guys were the ones who beat us in round one comfortably. So it's a good opportunity for us to rise, and can't wait for this game.
Well, the first interview Gray had this season was straight after that Bay of Plenty game.
Yeah.
So he knew he was going to get a few questions,
Yeah.
but he said it's only game one. And he did prove that with the fact that after that you had a bit of a run.
Yeah.
But then, you had, the All Black selections all of a sudden. And so then you lose some senior players or some good players. And then you get some injuries. So even with Jimmy coming back and then Leicester turning up,
Both gone.
Yeah, both gone. And some of the more senior players having some injury woes as well. Tane injured most of the season as well.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, so more recently, the younger boys have all had to step up, haven't they? And we're starting to get a bit of an idea of what maybe a Mako team might look like in next season and beyond.
100%. I think that's the thing. It's a blessing when it sucks at the time with players getting injured, but there's guys that can rise to the occasion. And that's been our theme for it this year with our players, is like whatever gets thrown at us, we're going to adapt, and so with these young guys, prime examples, Cooper Roberts, young fellow who thought he wasn't going to get much minutes this year and ends up playing well when he gets his opportunity. It's stuff like that. That's what Mako is all about. And that's how we look at the guys who have gone before us, and that's the play style that we want to be able to play with guys like Alex Nankerville, Levi Moore, guys like that, Mitchell Hunt, the guys, the way they played the game, it's what we can do, and we've just got to add what we can to the jersey.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of a next gen feel about these youngsters coming through, but as a 20 gamer, you're one of the listeners of that next.
I was going to say he's an old fella now. Yeah.
Yeah,
you've got to be a bit of a leader now, right?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, like, because I'm still young and same age as these guys, but I just know that we're going to be the future of the Mako, and I'm just so excited seeing all these boys come through. Even on the bench, we've got Maloney Kunawave, who's another young fella, exciting, plays with flair, fearless, and he's going to be coming off the bench, and I know he's just going to just bring the energy and just it's going to turn the switch when he comes on.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good talent that we look forward to see grow and get those games up, because there are some departing players. We'll talk about that in due course.
Okay, quick fire rounds. Fastest player you've ever had to go head to head with?
Fastest player.
Because you're one of the quicker ones.
Yeah, probably I'd say Caleb Tangitau. I had a good foot race with him in pre-season, and he's pretty rapid. So I'd say Caleb Tangitau for now. Yeah.
Yeah. And in your international career, did you just have to chase anyone down? You thought, geez, this guy.
Cheslin Colby was pretty quick.
Oh, was he? Yeah, right.
He's pretty rapid. I remember. I'll just leave it with Cheslin.
And the guy in Southland, because Cooper talked about him on the wing, the young 14.
Yeah.
Obviously, you played against those guys, but apparently he's pretty rapid as well.
He's rapid, man. He came out of nowhere.
Yeah, Michael Manson, right?
I think that's his name.
Yeah, he's rapid, man. He's electric. I seen him a little couple plays that he did during his in the NPC this year, and then to see him like live, I was like, yeah, he's pretty quick, man. He's pretty fast.
He's the guy for Counties Manukau on your side, their left winger.
Yeah.
He was quick too.
Yeah, he's quick, man. I swear all these NPC wingers are getting faster and faster.
Okay, so favourite moment of the season so far?
Favourite moment?
Think?
Favourite moment? Probably my 20th game last week. I know we didn't win that game, but just at home, my family was all there. Family made the trip up. It was just pretty special. So I'd say that my 20th game.
Good stuff. And then are you an eater before a game? Do you like to chow down before a game?
Yeah. I've always got always smash like a breakfast. I have like some sushi. I have a pre-match meal. Pre-match meal is like potatoes, spaghetti. What's in there? I have a scone with some cream.
Oh,
Big
yeah,
eater,
right.
man. Yeah. But yeah, it's probably my
Plenty of carbs. And what do you do post game? Is it just whatever's going?
KFC.
KFC. Yeah.
Kids today.
No, that's right. But they're allowed to, they burn it off, don't they?
Chicken's good.
They do burn it off. Dream backline combo. So have you had an opportunity to play with your dream team? Who are some of the players that you always looked up to in a backline?
Players that I looked up to, probably Israel Folau. Definitely one of the guys that someone who I want to try play like.
Yeah, he was a machine. He was just amazing, wasn't he?
He was a gun, man, and even spending time with him, the way he trains, the way he played back in the day is crazy. I'd say Taumoefolau. I'd love to play with him. He was deadly with the ball in hand, and just on defense as well, he's just as bad. So, who else will we have in there? I'd probably like to play with guys like Aaron Smith, who control the game pretty well. Obviously, Dan Carter's, Nonu's, guys like that. Love to play with that.
I listened to this video about Steve Hansen coaching Wales, and this was from a Welsh player, and they were due to tour New Zealand, and he said, look, I think we can beat the All Blacks in Hamilton. They've got a new number 12, and they lined up all the back line, and amazing, I can't remember the names they put out, but he said this number 12, I don't think he's up for it yet, and
like
he's a young fella, and I think there's opportunity there. So the Welsh guys go, you sure, Steve? Yep, we'll target that and blah, blah, blah. It was Dan Carter. He scored 3 tries and got 26 points.
One of the greats, man.
Yeah, so I remember that. Yeah, he did start his career at 12. So, and who's the larrikin in the squad? So who do you tend to hang around with, and who's the one that is just a complete larrikin?
You've probably heard this, Levi Moore. He's a bit of a joke,
he is. Yeah, we've heard that.
Yeah, he's a bit of a joke. He's pretty comedian. Even our manager, I reckon Huey's a good lad. He's funny, man. He's really funny. Yeah. So I'd say those two are probably the jokers in the team. Always bringing good energy into the meetings and stuff like that.
Awesome. Hey, mate, it's great to hear about your background. You're going to stick around with us because we've got some rugby to talk about, and we've got a game against the Boppers coming up too. So we need a bit of inside information. But let's look at the NPC Round 10 results. And on Friday, geez, they're a lot closer, these matches this weekend. Obviously, everyone tightened up their defences going into needing to hit the top 8 and get into the finals. But Cooper called it. North Harbour win at home, their first of the season, 15-14 over Southland. So we thought Southland were running pretty well, but Cooper called it last week. Auckland, don't know what's happened to them this year. 51-17 against Otago.
It's an appalling scoreline for them, and just at the end of a horrible season. So, hey, mate, I can't dwell into why.
There must be a total disconnection amongst that union, that association with amongst the clubs. How do you not, out of a city with over 1 million people, pull a side together that doesn't consistently be in the top 3?
We'd given Auckland a chance in this one, primarily because Otago were resting quite a number of players.
100, yeah.
Oh man, they were sensational. So 51-17, that's a big scoreline.
It is. Wellington actually put up a pretty good fight this time, only going down 33-26 against Bay of Plenty. Waikato 25 over Northland 19. Didn't pick that actually, and that's the Waikato. You just don't know what you're going to get, and they made the top 8, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they're getting a couple of All Blacks back. So, geez, that's going to be interesting. Hawke's Bay, they're starting to hit their straps, aren't they? 38-10 over Manawatu. And then we'll come back to the counties game, but Canterbury, 34-14, they're the team to beat. I thought Taranaki, the match that I saw, or the highlights I saw, Canterbury were pretty dominant in that game. They're a class side, aren't they? They're going to be tough to beat. And then 49-41 at Trafalgar Park. So tell us about that game. I noticed that I didn't get a chance to actually see the game, but I watched the highlights, and it was kind of the other way around, because normally we start pretty well, and then we're on defence in the second half.
Yeah.
But they started strong, and then you guys kind of came back, didn't you?
Yeah, full credit to Counties. They played well. That first 30 minutes, they really brung it to us. I don't know if that was part of their game plan. And it's, like I said, it's pretty hard to play footy on your back foot. They played well, kicked well. They pressured us in areas we didn't thought they were going to pressure us. And fair play to Counties. It's pretty tough to come back from that.
Yeah.
In the end, it was 7 tries each.
Yep.
Right.
So goal kicking played a bit of a big role in the final outcome. It was it was an interesting game. They started well. We got back into it, went to half time close.
Yep.
But then they came out in the beginning of the second half, and I thought this is where the Mako can go and score a couple of tries on the trot and get ahead.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it just didn't happen. But then you fought back well towards the end of that second half. So as Chris says, it's kind of the reverse to how we've gone in previous games.
Yeah, 100%. I think for us, it's you got to be able to start well to do anything in this competition, and with us, it's starting well and then being consistent throughout. It's been the story of our career, a story of our journey with the Tasman Makos this year. It's been like just staying consistent. Some games we start well, other games we back end we're well, or it just needs to be the whole way through. But for a team like Counties, as soon as you let them get up, the charhooing starts. It's pretty hard to stop a team like that.
Yeah, and the thing everyone knows about Counties is they're starting to build. They had a slow start, but then they've been on a run. Also, if they didn't win this match, they don't make the top 8. So massive motivation for them. They must have been really fired up for it. The other thing I just keep, as you just pointed out, and we've mentioned it over the last 2 or 3 weeks, we haven't seen a complete game from the Mako yet. I mean, I don't know if you can have a full 80-minute complete game, but it's patches of brilliance, and then other times you're on the back foot and mistakes. You could see a little bit of frustration from Anton towards the end of the game. He was quite fired up. So it's going to be interesting.
Antonio,
I should say. Yeah. Sorry, yes. I just wonder now that it's crunch time, what that conversation is going to be like going into the game against Bay of Plenty, because you've got the ability, but there's this need to put a complete game together. And certainly, even with the younger players, the ability's there. So that's my commentary. What's been the commentary amongst the players leading into this Bay of Plenty game? A very tough Bay of Plenty side, I'd have to say.
Yeah. For us, it's walking towards it. We're not shying away from anything. We know that what's done in the round robin's done these next 3 games, but we go take week by week. Quarterfinals against Bay, we can't wait. Like, it's something we're going to walk towards, and we don't really care what happens. In the round robin games, but all we care about is putting out a complete performance. The only things, and controlling what we can control. We can control our work rate on the field. Probably wasn't there against Counties. Our work rate, making sure that we're playing with all our values, our grit, everything. We've got our game plan sorted, so we know what it takes to beat Bay. All we need to do is nail our process during the week so we can go out there and play instinctively.
It's too early for the team, isn't it, Les?
Yeah, I did go to training yesterday to catch up with Kyren, actually, and then just looked at what was going on. So, the injury toll quite strong. Quite harsh, actually. After the Counties game, so Quinn Strange is definitely not going to be able to get on the park. They lost Tane Robinson with a cut eye. Eli Odenrine with a concussion. So there's 3 players joining what is a fairly large casualty ward down with the physio. So but as I understand it, the front row will be as it should be. Coxon, Martinga, and Tamasi Maka, who is he a good bloke? He's very quiet. But
he's quiet. Yeah, he's a good bloke. He's awesome. He's originally from Australia, but he joined us.
Despite being Australian, he's a good lad, right?
Yeah, despite that. But he's awesome.
Yeah, he has been a wonderful addition.
Yeah.
Antonio Chalfoun is going to lock with Lorpetti Faifua. Right. Because of Hunter Lepine got injured 2 games ago.
Right. Yeah.
Quinn's out. There's been a bit of attrition for another season in the locks. Back row pretty much the same. Sione, Fletcher Anderson, and Tane Hemapo.
Yep.
Tane is a rugby player that is becoming quite impressive.
Tane
Hemapo.
Yes, he is. He's awesome. He's a young fellow who just works hard during training.
Yeah.
you can see he's playing well, but just behind closed doors, he's training just as hard. So it's good to see.
I'd imagine that season, an off season of conditioning.
Yeah.
And that guy can be anything. He's a babyface assassin,
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Halfback will be Jay Renton. First five will be
Willie
Hubbly. Yeah.
And then what, Davey?
At fullback.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and Levi Armour and Cooper Roberts in the centres.
Yeah.
And then Kyren and Maka on the wings. The wings, the back three, pretty impressive. So it's just a case of, as you say, putting it all together.
100%.
Yeah.
So,
right from the
Davey played in the centre for counties, didn't he?
Yeah, he played second five.
Oh, now because of Tane with the cut off, he'll go back. Gotcha. Yeah. I was wondering why the change, but that's a forced change, really.
Yeah.
But still not a bad side.
Just
a little bit of experience lost.
Hey, this is the walk towards it. And it is what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the cool thing about rugby. You can't change the makeup of your team. You got who you got.
Yeah.
So the bench is who's your backup lock?
Backup lock.
Who
would that be? I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think
so. Tony Nashu's in there.
Yeah, we got Tony. All I know is the back cover is we've got the young Malone Kunawave, the one I talked about already. We've got is it Will Thornelly, and then we've got Jack Gray. Jack Gray is coming onto the bench.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
which would be good because especially in these games, sometimes you just need that energy, any boost, and I think those two will be perfect for it.
Yeah, very good. All right. Well, as you say, it's a bit of a game of revenge, isn't it?
And with that, because this is all going to air pretty late in the week, with that backup goal kicker we've just learned, Kyren, and backup first five, Maloney.
Which would be cool. Be good to see him.
Well, there you go. Slots are from the sideline to get the winning to make the semis.
Heard it here first.
Yeah, no pressure. Okay, let's go through the quarters. We're going to do our picks. Kyren, so Otago versus Waikato at Forsyth Bar Stadium. Otago have led the way this season, a young side, but boy, haven't they played well. But, this Waikato side, they won the Shield. They've got some All Blacks back in the pack. It's not. I don't think it's Otago necessarily. Potentially, it's just going to be a walkover by any means.
No, it's going to be tough.
It's a tough call, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Waikato on the day, like you see, can beat any team.
Yeah.
So I still think Otago is going to take that one out.
They played well, haven't they?
I'm with you there. I think they're just so well organised, and they've basically kept their squad together. Very, very few injuries. So, looking good.
And another cracker, Hawke's Bay versus Taranaki at McLean Park. And Taranaki, they didn't quite play the game they wanted to against Canterbury, I don't think. I just didn't get the feeling that they really fired. Canterbury were very good. Hawke's Bay are in some fine form. So how do you pick this?
Well, I'll go with Hawke's Bay. And I just want to say, from week one, I've been saying that Bay of Plenty and Hawke's Bay will be in the top four, and I think they will be, both of those. And then you've got the perennial Canterbury, playing Counties Manukau. Do Counties Manukau get the chance to Chahu around the park against this Canterbury side? Probably not. So, I think the final four are the four home teams, Chris.
Okay. Except for Tasman.
Except for Tasman.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yes. Let's edit that. No, leave it in there. Because then the players can hit me around the head next week when they see, except for the Tasman Bay of Plenty game.
That's right. We're going to upset them. So that is 4:10 at Tauranga Domain. So, it's going to be all on. We wish you all the best of luck. Rugby Championship and Argentina 27, South Africa 29, and Argentina almost took them up. And that's been the storyline of this championship, isn't it? That, week one, the favourites tend to win. Week two, there's upsets. And great second half from Argentina.
Yeah, very good second half. And a good entertaining game of rugby, I thought. I enjoyed it thoroughly. But for the one that preceded that, I actually stayed up. I couldn't. I was going to
Oh,
go to
yeah,
bed
yeah,
and watch
yeah,
it in the morning. No, I had to stay up and watch,
Yeah.
watch it live. Yeah, and that was great that we New Zealand put on another win.
Yeah,
and,
it's
and,
good.
and just really cemented that Bledisloe Cup
Yeah,
on
that's
the
right. That's
in the
right.
boardroom.
Now, okay, so let's talk about the match. I don't think both play, and it did rain. It was quite slippery over there. Both matches, I don't think both teams would be 100% happy with the performance, would they? I think Australia had their opportunities, but I think they did let themselves down at times with penalties and maybe trying a bit too hard, maybe trying to force the issue, especially in the forward pack. I thought our defence was magnificent. I thought it was really good defence. We did get some early penalties. Didn't see the high ball so much this time. We did run it. But the thing that struck me was just that connection in the back line didn't seem to be there. Like when they passed the ball, you always felt the other guy was going to drop it. It was very tentative. Was that just me?
No, there were moments when we weren't great, but there were moments when we did play well.
Yeah.
I thought the Aussie looked $1 million for the first 20 minutes. Really, really impressive ball handling skills. But then the All Blacks just stayed in the grind, and that was really important. To you don't have to win flashy, you just got to win. So I really do think that the forward pack sort of did step up. Quinton Tupaia had a cameo at 13.
What a game! Yeah, great game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Leroy Carter,
As well,
he's a good rugby player, because he looks for work and he's strong. He's a junkyard dog, as I like to think of him, because he's bloody tenacious.
I mean, is that kind of the thing? And one of the attributes you can bring to a 15s game playing sevens, because in sevens, you can't hide in the forward pack, can you?
Nah.
Everyone's got to do the job, don't they?
100. I think a guy like Leroy's. I've seen him play for a bit now, and just the way he brings his sevens game to 15s, it's the way you can beat a man. You've got fitness over everyone else. You're elusive. But the thing separates him is the way he goes looking for work, the pick and goes. He's just that dog on that field, that you need, and it's cool to see him in that All Black jersey. And I'm proud of my mate.
Yeah. No, he's doing really well. Your thoughts on the All Black game?
Yeah, I thought the same. I had the same opinion. I just reckon that. I think Australia showed like all those offloads, all those good tipping skills, getting around the man, getting to C-man. I think Aussies came out well, but I think All Blacks were too clinical. I think the way that they played the game, I did feel a little bit disconnected in that backline like you were talking about. I know what you're talking about there, but it's just one of those.
Could have been pressure, but I just didn't feel that it flowed as well as we've seen it.
Yeah,
I'd still like to see one test where they try Quinton Tupaia at 12 and Billy Proctor at 13. I just think that would be quite a sensational.
Take Barrett out of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He could play off the bench. I don't know. I just want to. We haven't nailed the midfield yet, and that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
when you're talking about connection and a backline.
Yeah.
It's all that 10, 12, 13 connection that lets these outside backs get going.
Yeah.
So I just think that one test where they try that would be cool.
Yeah.
100.
It was interesting. Piney interviewed Wyatt Crockett about the side, and I was, I'm still not 100% happy with just how the All Blacks are playing at the moment. I just still feel it's a bit disconnected. But just with his experience, the way that Piney, the feedback he gave Piney about the squad, gave me a bit of confidence because. Really these days we're all building towards a World Cup, aren't we? Yeah. And he kind of explained about that scenario about trying to get any player within that squad, get that depth so that any player that comes on, you've had a few injuries earlier in the season where, we haven't necessarily started with what would be our first picks or considered our first picks, and they've stepped up. And then now that they're starting to come back into the fold, they need to get some games under their belt as well. So,
well, that's to my point. There's no doubt South Africa have been miles ahead of their preparation for 2027 than we are, because they've got a squad of 42 and they're rotating
Yeah.
them and trying different combinations, and the result may not be as important for them, but they definitely are going to have a lot of depth. And that's why I'm just saying things like trying
Yeah.
Tupaia and Proctor in the midfield at this point in time is probably the right time to be doing it and having a look and seeing if that actually helps the connectivity and the flow of our backline play.
We do have a Northern Tour coming up, so we might see it then. Just in the headlines, a coalition of 8 leading rugby unions, including New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, England, France, Ireland, Scotland and Italy, have announced that players who joined the proposed R360 franchise league will be ineligible for international selection. So no big massive checks coming your way, big offers to go and join the Rebel League and
No, man,
retire at the age of 25.
25. No, stay in New Zealand.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
But to that point, I think that there'll be a lot of opportunities for the Pacific Island nation players to earn some good money.
Yeah, and it will be those players that aren't necessarily on the radar for international that will get the opportunity. It's not really what they want, though, and it's going to be interesting to see whether it just fades away or it grows, a bit like, pro rugby when that came in, that you just couldn't avoid it. The money talks, but that hasn't worked with the Saudi Arabia Football League. So we'll see how that goes. And we must give a big congratulations to Dave Woodhouse, Vaughan Woodburton, Andrew Matthews, Aidan Barnett, Reese Ware and Damon Smith, the first ever recipients of the Tasman referee blazer. Nice touch, isn't it? So if you go to functions, you're able to wear the blazer and be recognised as your services to the game.
Nice.
Congratulations to them. All right. Thanks very much, Kyren. Nice to meet you, mate. You've had, quite the career already. So I suppose it's about now pacing yourself so that you can last for quite a few years to come. But another big game this weekend, and we wish you all the best of luck for that.
Cheers, bro.
Oh, now what I didn't mention is it formal now? You've going to the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's all formal. Came out a little bit earlier than expected, but grateful to be with the Chiefs next year.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it.
So when we talk Super Rugby next year, we'll be able to talk about Kyren and Hugh Bainan, our representatives.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
So it'll be fun working with him because you
awesome.
enjoy him and the energy he brings.
Yeah, love the engine. He's good mate. So it'd be cool.
Yeah, it will be.
So how'd that phone call come about? How did that come about?
So the Chiefs was maybe midway through the season. I got a couple calls from a couple Super Rugby, or maybe a few Super Rugby, but Chiefs was right up there for me. And then they just pretty much just said that they have a contract for me and this is where they see me going in the next year. And then they're like, we want to sign you long term. This is where we see you. And then it was pretty cool to get phone calls from Damien McKenzie, who will be the 10 there next year, saying that he's looking for a fullback and he can't wait to work with me. And
true.
During Super Rugby with Moana Pasifika. And then, just being able to sign that was pretty cool. Yeah.
See where that puzzle fits because, Damien's going to be playing 10. Yeah.
That 15 jersey is an opportunity.
Yeah.
Which will be good.
But you won't say no to 14 either, would you?
Nah, I love 14 too.
Oh, well done, mate. And congratulations. And, that's something to look forward to.
Moana tried their hardest to keep you?
Yeah, they did everything. But I think at the same time, Tana knew what I was trying to do. And he was, as much as it was sad to see me go, he was happy for me and got a really good relationship with him anyway. So when I was talking to him about it, and it was pretty smooth. And I know that they're all going to back me at Moana anyway.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Cheers, mate.
Good stuff, mate. Well done. All right, Les. So cross fingers and hope that we're, got another week to go.
Yeah, Saturday 4:10 we'll be watching you, mate. And fingers and toes crossed. Just, get out there, start well and stay in the fight.
That's good, eh?
all you can do. All right. Big thanks to Stan and the team at the Turf Hotel. Don't forget to check out the Facebook page for everything this weekend. You can catch this podcast and others on NBS Talk Nelson, the website and social media, Spotify, YouTube, and NBS Talk Nelson Digital Radio. That's a wrap. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Mako Rugby Roundup.
The Mako Rugby Roundup. What's on, where, and when. It's the Talk of Nelson. NBS Talk Nelson.